Hello everyone. So now let's go to page 72 in our student book and let's focus on when questions in simple past. Okay? So let's go to our student book, page 72, and let's focus on when questions and simple past. Okay? First, let's review some things about simple past. Simple past. Okay? So simple past, we do like this. Remember, let me see here a sentence. Daniel now I'm gonna put the verb. This is the simple present. So Daniel arrives early at work. Daniel arrives early at work. And remember, when you have simple present, the idea is of a habitual event, an action that repeats. So Daniel arrives early at work. So when the person hears you saying something like that, they most of the times will assume that is an action, an event that repeats, that is habitual. Okay? But I want to say that this happened in the past. Okay? For example, I want to say that this action happened, let's say, yesterday. So now it's the past. So how we do that? We have to change the verb. The verb here is in the present form, and you have to change to past. And arrive is a regular verb. Why? Because the simple past and past participle, they end with ed. They follow the same pattern. That's why they are regular. So look here. Present is arrive or arrives, and the past is arrived. Okay, because it's regular. And then it's all the same. Okay? Daniel arrived early at work. Daniel arrived early at work. Oh, this word here is kind of... And then I can put yesterday. Okay? Just to make it clear that this is the past. Daniel arrived early at work yesterday. Okay? But now, I want to make a question. Okay? Let's say that my boss or somebody wants to make a question. Okay? So, because it's a question about time, the word that the person will use is when. So let's leave when here. I'm gonna leave here. Okay. Simple past with when. When question. Okay? Okay. I wanna use that. But first, let's change this sentence. This is an affirmative sentence. I want to change it to question. So what's going to happen here? Do you guys remember how we did this? First, is this verb to be? No. This is not verb to be. Do you need a helper verb? Yes. You need a helper verb. So what verb comes to help? In the present is do or does. But here, because it's past, is did. This verb cannot go. That's why you need a helper verb. So the helper verb is this one here. Did, right? Because the verb has to come here. Daniel. Now look what is going to happen to the base verb. Look here. Did Daniel arrive? Okay, this is the question. Why? Because the past goes here now. So this one has to come back to the infinitive form. And now, to add the when goes here. When did Daniel arrive? Daniel arrived early at work. Daniel arrived at 7 in the morning. Okay? So this is how you make the questions here. Okay? Sometimes you may encounter you may find an irregular verb. So let me give you now an example with an irregular verb. Okay? So let me erase this. So you have dinner late. This is the simple present, right? Now, have is an irregular verb. Why? Because the simple past form and the past participle do not follow the ed pattern. They change. They have another way of changing, of showing the past. For example, the past of have is, in this case, is had. See, no ed. So that's why have is irregular. So you had dinner late. But now I want to change this to question, and I want to use when. I want to ask you, when the dinner happen? So this is what we're gonna do. Is this verb to be? No. Do you need help? Yes. What verb comes to help? Did. So you're gonna use did, because when you make a question, one verb has to go to before the subject. In this case, this verb cannot go. You need a helper verb. That's why you have did. So did you? And what happens to had? It goes back to the base form. Did you have dinner? And now, because I want to use when, I want to know when. When did you have dinner? That's it. Simple, right? So, take a look at the orange boxes. You have some examples of regular verbs and irregular verbs. And now, what I want you to do, I want you to go and practice some exercises, okay? So continue following in your book, because now we're gonna do some practice. Okay, everyone, now we are gonna practice some exercise. We are gonna go back to the student book later. What I want you to do now is to go to your workbook, page 68. So open your workbook, page 68, and do exercises 1, 2, 3, and also do page 69, okay? Try to do this all at once. Pause the video and then come back for the correction, or just stay with me and we're gonna do the exercises together, okay? But let's go to the workbook, page 68, And if we have time, we are going to come back and do page 72 on the student book. But now let's work with our workbook. So the book is asking, exercise 1, to write the verbs in the past tense, okay? So this is just to have a feel about how, if you're okay with the simple past, if you know how to distinguish between regular verbs and irregular verbs. So let's do this. Write the verbs in the past tense. So what is the past of move? Since move is a regular verb, the past is moved, okay? How about the past tense of verb have? What is the past of have? Have, it's an irregular verb. The past is had. Oops, let me change here. Good. Number 3, the word is begin. What is the past of begin? Begin is an irregular verb, so the past is began. Now let's go here. Let's do the next one. The next word is study. Study is a regular verb, but there is a change because of the Y at the end. So studied, okay? Very good. Number 5, the verb is find. The past of a find is an irregular verb. The past is found, okay? Do you remember that? Number 6, the verb is start. Start. Start is a regular verb, so the past is started. Started. Okay. Very good. Get is the next one. Get is an irregular verb. The past of get is got. The next one, leave. Leave is an irregular verb. The past of leave is left. Next verb is meet. Meet is an irregular verb. The past form of meet is met. The final verb, the past, graduate is a regular verb. So the past form of graduate is graduated. Okay, good. Questions? No? Okay, so let's move to our next exercise. Let's see here. What is our next one? Complete the chart. Use the past tense forms from exercise 1. Okay, let's do this. Complete the chart. Use the past tense forms from exercise 1. So you just had to separate, okay? Regular verbs and irregular verbs. This is a kind of a review because we saw this last semester. So move is a regular verb, as you know, because it ends with ed. Had is an irregular verb because it does not end with ed. So this is just a way of doing a review. So began is an irregular verb, right? Studied is a regular verb because it ends with ed. Found is a irregular verb
started is a regular verb. Got is an irregular verb. So I'm assuming you have no difficulty with this at all, recognizing regular and irregular verbs. But if you have any difficulty or questions, just reach out to me. Don't forget that. Write down your questions and reach out to me, okay? The next one is left. Left is an irregular verb, okay? And the next one is met. Met is another irregular verb. And the other one is graduated. Graduated is a regular verb, okay? Good. So again, was just a review for you to get used to the forms of the verbs in the past, distinguishing between regular and irregular verbs. I think up to this point, I'm assuming you have no difficulty, but if you have any difficulty, just reach out to me, okay? In order to do this exercise, exercise 3, actually you have no need for the audio. Just by reading the question and having the data, you can answer. But if there is a need, listen to the audio and answer the questions. But you see that this is not that difficult. Okay, so let's answer the questions here. So question number 1, when did you move here? In 2010. I moved here in 2010. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So let's try to do number 2. When did Ken start college? In September. So how do you make the question? It's just easy. You just get the subject. Ken started college in September. Okay, that's what you have to do. Okay, that's it. Ken started college in September. So see, you don't need actually to listen to the audio. Okay, but you can pause at any time and go to the audio. You have done, if you haven't done yet. Okay, so number 3, when did you and your husband meet? In 1998. So listen, this is very important. The answer is my husband and I met in 1998. Remember that I is always the last one. You don't say I and my husband. Is always I after the other pronoun when it's part of a compound pronoun. Okay, so you have to remember that. My husband and I, my children and I, my friend and I. Okay, it's always I always comes later. Okay. Question number 4. When did you get married? The answer is I got married in 2000. Okay. See that you don't actually need to, you don't have to have the audio. You can guess. Number 5. When did your children begin taking English classes? My children began taking English classes last year. Okay. Easy or difficult? And now let's, the last one. When did Norma leave for vacation? The answer is Norma left for vacation on Saturday. Okay, good. Questions? Just let me know. Okay.